Coyote Culture is presented by the Cheyenne River Predator Hunters and TS Customs, precision firearms built for success. This segment of Coyote Culture is brought to you by Precision Reloading, your hunting and shooting outfitters.
This is our contest. Oren and I we're hunting in it this year. Lonnie and Derek hunted in it last year. We were actually having a pretty slow day calling coyotes. This was not too long after lunch, but it was in the afternoon. Yeah. We had one coyote in the back. We weren't able to get that coyote filmed. It was a pretty slow day, and then this set happened.
He's moving. He's moving. Let's go.
The people who own the land there had told us before that they had been having some coyotes come up near their place, so we thought, well, heck, we'd never hunted there before, so let's take a stab at it. We started calling, and we had a coyote to our north answer back a little bit and move around. And we're really working this dog hard, trying to get him to move, and he just wasn't going to have anything to do with it.
We spent a lot of time on that first one.
We did.
I don't know. We probably had 5 or 6 different sounds at him by then. We were a long ways into that first one.
How far?
And then in the frustration of that, you always got to keep your eye out.
Talking the same one?
Pretty soon, oh, hey, Oren, here's another one. He's right, Oren, he's right in front of us. Right here, Oren.
Oh, he's right there. I've got him.
This segment of Coyote Culture is brought to you by Brotherhood Arms, guns, bows, and bullets.
Done the same one.
Hey, Oren, here's another one. He's right, Oren, he's right in front of us. Right here, Oren.
This coyote's right in front of us at 100 yards, and I fumble around there a little bit.
Oh, straight
Finally,
there.
it's like, Dakota, I'm on him.
I've got him.
Boy, I don't even think I hardly got the words out of my mouth.
By this point, I was getting nervous, right? A coyote that close, 100 yards. I mean, I don't know how long it was there before we seen it.
Don't know.
We were so locked in on that one. He just, he was just there.
Now, let's go back to him.
Now we're back to business again on coyote
Yep,
number one.
one.
Good eyes, Dakota. Better hurry.
For a while, we didn't know what we were going to do.
He just went over the hill. Oh, did he?
That coyote had laid down, we was pretty sure, but we didn't know if it run off or took off or what for sure by the time we shot at that other coyote.
And yeah, at this point, we'd worked the set way too long for a contest day, and it was time to either take a shot or move on or something. And
we decided we just needed to get it up and try to take a poke at it.
Yep, I was running the e-call, and I ran down through and found Coyote Group Howl, I think it was, and just let it rip. And it worked. This coyote stood back up.
There he is. Yep.
Dakota did some ranging and dialed him in. And
Did you hit him? I heard the thunk. How far? 580 yards.
The 20 varminter took one down at 580.
580 yards.
Yeah, pretty good shot for that small of a gun.
Hey guys, we were sitting in on the set here, kind of working it for a while. Seen a coyote over here to the northwest, just sitting there on the ridge, and we're working him pretty hard. And Dakota happened to look right down below us here, and I'll be darned if there wasn't a coyote just sitting there on the hillside. Took me a minute to figure out where Dakota was wanting to shoot. Seen the coyote, got the camera on him. Dakota stoned him, using them lane suppressors, so the coyote out there further didn't even hear the shot. We went back to work on the furthest coyote, and once we got him to stand back up, 580 yards. Dakota 20XC, Travis Stevens, TS Customs, knocked him down. There's the first coyote.
Dakota walks out there 500 yards, had about 80 to go.
Well, I'm assuming he has him.
Well,
No, yeah, there was some
so
pursuit.
you walk out there and things change as you walk. You think you've got this coyote pinned, and you get after a couple little hills and valleys, and then all of a sudden everything looks the same.
600 yards doesn't seem like that far until you walk it to go get some.
And drag another
but
coyote
by the
with you.
time I went and got that first coyote, and then I walked through two little dips, and I was up on the third ridge, I thought I was there.
Yeah.
Should have been right there.
And then I started looking at plants and looking at bushes, and no coyote here, no coyote here.
He
No
looks back
coyote
at me,
here.
and that's where you wish you had a second camera to watch the whole thing, because I'm pointing and waving and this way and that way, and
Oren is far enough away, and he's doing stuff, and I'm going, I don't know what the hell you're doing, Oren. And apparently he was giving me this shot, but
yeah.
I couldn't even see that.
No,
Whereas you can see on the video that coyote is playing peekaboo with me, but I wasn't looking over
Yep.
there.
he wasn't that far down.
Thank God for technology. Pretty soon we
Orange
had
fire-
cell phones, and
I think he's further out, Dakota, and then, yep. Yep. I think he's across that little bit of white. That, or for me, there's a little draw there ahead of you.
Well, he finally gets me turned around and past the next dip and back up behind it.
You know, you don't realize all this is really happening until you get to watch the video. Because even sitting there filming it, I seen the coyote move one time, and then that was that. I thought he was down. So, yeah, I'm trying to get Dakota to walk right to him, you know. And finally, the coyote jumps up and starts down off the hillside.
Oh, he just took off running.
I didn't see him until I got right up beside where he was at.
Just got a glimpse of him running. Dakota's gonna lay down.
He was pretty well done. He was hit right in his chest at 580, but he was moving just enough where I had to put one more bullet in him to take him down.
Gets him shot, knocked down, and at the end of the day, we got both coyotes.
Well, we'll see how this turns out.
Well, the day it really had its highs and lows. Kind of a slow day, but a good day. You know, the weather was good. Coyotes weren't responding real well, but Dakota had just knocked down a double on film. The last shot was a 580-yard shot. I mean, you know, how do you end things better than that? So we pack stuff up, come home. We get to the building. We're doing our Cheyenne River Classic check-in. We're weighing coyotes and adding up everything, and the guys knocked it out of the park. Not only Dakota, Lonnie, Derek, Seth, Dayton, so on and so forth. Everybody helps put the contest on, the family members and stuff, because it's a group effort that puts this contest on. Found out a couple days prior to this that the guys had decided to do the benefit for my daughter Colby and her son John, their family, which hit pretty close to home. They helped my family out. The first year we had the contest, we helped Dominic Blunkett's family, and I thought that was cool. And it is. They were in need, you know, the Molly story. The second year was a good friend of ours, Tommy Dale Vines. Broke his neck in a horse accident. You know, that's what we're about. And they picked us. And I say us because it helps in all the way around. Colby had left here, gotten married, left here, had started life of her own, and for the guys to say no, even though she's not a community member right here, and say this is who we're going to do it for. Pretty cool. Going into this year's contest, the guys decided they wanted to give back to me and my family. So here's my daughter Colby telling John's story.
I grew up in this small town where everybody knows everybody, and it's one of those small towns where everybody waves when you pass by, and even if you live 40 miles away, they refer to each other as your neighbor. So when I moved to Minnesota, I lost a lot of my relationships with my friends and family. I remember there was a time where I was just holding him and he wouldn't wake up to eat. He just slept, and I dripped water on his body, and he still just had no life in him. So we've had to force feed him back to life. And then after that, he started to smile and laugh, and you know, he was living. And we thought everything was great. But then he started missing his milestones, picking up his head at 4 months old, sitting up at 13 months old, and crawling at 15 months old, walking at 23 months old. So very, very delayed milestones. He's had to be taught how to sit up every little detail of how to position your body, lift your leg, push with your arms. We'd had to put a sock on his hand and cut out 2 holes for him to learn how to pinch, to work on his fine motor skills. At about a year of no answers, our doctors at the time wanted to just watch him grow, and we were not okay with that. We wanted answers. We wanted something to guide him through life. You know, what do we expect his future to look like? They ran 2 tests. One was a muscle test, which came back surprisingly normal. The second test was a genetic test, and that genetic test came back with mutation SYNGAP1. It causes John to have intellectual disability, autism, seizures, global developmental delay, anxiety, constipation, sensory processing disorder. He's constantly frustrated and under stress, and we're constantly having to monitor John and follow him and help him. He doesn't just run off and play and we get to relax. We're nonstop having to watch him, make sure he doesn't wander, run into the streets because he has no sense of danger at all. It's like grieving the loss of a child. I mean, he's here. He's not dying, thank God. But he's not going to be outside helping his father work on a pickup, teaching him how to drive. He's not going to be playing catch with a football in the yard, talking about girls. You know, he will forever need monitoring and depend on someone. You know, as parents, we pray our children can grow up and be strong and independent. But John, he won't be. We are going to try our hardest to get him there. We just want him to be happy and loved and know that he's loved. So he's come a long ways in the last year. We are getting him an AAC device, which will help him talk. It kind of looks like this. So then it'll tell you what he's wanting. We're really hoping that will lower his aggression and anxiety. We try to keep his goals realistic. Communication is our #1 goal since John is nonverbal and he cannot point. His main teacher, honestly, is probably his sister, because she just does everything with him and they learn faster off of other children. She actually looks up to him like he is just a rock star. So it's really nice to see that, because they are no doubt best friends right now, and she is his role model and he is hers. So when I was told that John was going to be this year's fundraiser, I just felt very moved and overwhelmed, and I felt like we weren't forgotten. And it means a lot that the community and surrounding communities have come together to show how much support they have for my son and family. I know these guys, and coyote calling is a passion of theirs, but to them, family means everything. Putting on a fundraiser for my son was a huge blessing. We were able to afford sensory equipment, safety equipment, music therapy that his insurance won't cover, $20 pair of socks for his braces. It all adds up quick. It's amazing what they do for families like mine, and we will forever be thankful.
next episode of Coyote Culture, the contest isn't over yet. Lonnie, Derek, and Damon go to a spot that always produces.
This is a spot that we call the double spot.
And Derek looks to redeem himself after last season's mishaps.
That's a good redeeming shot there.
That's next time on Coyote Culture.